basically go to Curtis to die is what it was saying. And I just thought how appropriate,
Yeah, just keep running your mouth. Come to Curtis to die.
Don't call me paranoid. I keep the demons from your soul.
Hey, everybody, what do we got here? Episode 5 of Bootleg Mercy's Rough Cuts.
Subscribe.
Like, comment below. I actually had all that set up and you just jumped the gun on it. Thanks a lot.
One never knows with you, my friend.
Well, we're learning as we go through this podcast. We got to realize that most of our listeners are diving out about the minute 30 mark, so we really got to get their attention early.
That's right.
That's why instead of going through the normal rigmarole, I think tonight we need to start with let's do something a little different. Let's do some funny gig stories. Let's do something that's going to get their attention and hopefully keep on to them for a little while. Anybody want to go first with a funny gig story? Rich has a really good one. I don't think he should go first, though. Do you think you should go first?
How do you know I got a good one?
Because we talk about it every time.
Which one is
Started off with a bang.
Oh, no, not that one.
You're not telling that one?
No, that one's mean. Well, I could tell that one too.
Well, you better.
I've got a funny one though.
If you don't tell it, I'm going to tell it, and I'm going to do a terrible job, and you're going to get in trouble.
All right, whatever. Well, all right. So I guess I'll start then.
Yes.
All right. So I had a funny gig story. So some people just out of the blue asked if I could play a private party out in the boonies of Kansas here, and I said, of course I can. I asked Eric if he could do it along with me. He told me no, not a chance. Huh. And so I went out there by myself to a strange, very remote location.
Aspen Road.
A
lot of really nice houses.
Very nice houses, but remote. And come pulling up, and I could tell right away which one it was because they had a tent out, and they were already had probably 16 girls dancing all over the place, and I was like, great, this is a good start. So got all set up, getting ready to go, and this guy comes out and he's holding a Magnum in his hand.
Is that by Trojan?
That is by PI. And so
nice reference.
And so he comes walking out, and some of the women are asking him, what are you doing with this gun? He says, well, I'm going to go out there and shoot that cow. And we all said, whatever. Well, lo and behold, about 10 minutes later, he's out there petting this cow, and then boom, shot a cow right in the face. Right in the face. Cow falls over. It's like totally did a Jim Carrey move on it. And so we're all freaking out, and I'm like, where the heck am I? What am I doing? It's kind of a messed up situation. And comes back, and people were yelling at him, and he says, just calm down, relax. The cow was very lame. It was on its last legs, and the farmer asked me if I could put it out of its misery. But that was it. So yeah, that's not really all that. I guess it's funny it's funny to you guys because you guys always bring it up. But
did you immediately play Wonderwall right after that went down?
Anyway, here's Wonderwall.
So
today's gonna be the day.
So it's brought up an interesting question. Expressions. So said the cow was on his last legs. Well, he's only got 4 to start with. What are the first legs and what are the last legs? Like, how does that actually work?
Well, you got the hind legs and you got the 4 legs. So I guess he was
FOUR FORE.
Yeah. And the hind legs were the ones that it was on at that point. The 4 legs were not working.
Very interesting. All right.
Jeff, you got a good one?
Yes.
Yeah, I got a pretty good one that I'll definitely always remember. I was in this band, and we were playing, I think it was the Double Vision. Used to be called the Jam Room when Ronnie True, very well-known and well-liked guy in the Wichita music scene back in the day. But it had been changed hands to the Double Vision, and this band that I was in was playing there. We had a big, very, very well liked, good friend of mine, goes by the nickname Sprout. He's like, I don't know actually how tall he is, somewhere between 6'7" and 6'9". Dreadlocks, the whole bit.
King Shifter, guy from King Shifter, right?
Right. He played in King Shifter. So we're up on stage and we don't actually know where he's at, but we start the intro music and we're getting ready to play, and here he comes from the back running in, like I said, it's 6'7", somewhere between 6'7", 6'9", tall black dude with dreads, comes running in, no clothes on except for a Confederate flag around his waist, and jumps up on stage, and we just start doing our business. And then there was this guy there that I don't think took too kindly to that and kept trying to grab the flag off of him.
Maybe he's trying to look for the treasure underneath.
But anyways, we got a good kick out of that. It was funny. He caught us off guard, and we tried to make it through the best we could without but yeah, it's like one of those things you go, and then you're like, but
I don't think I've ever seen Jeff's eyeballs before. Did you
No,
notice
this is the
that?
first time yet. Oh my
Whoa.
goodness! What?
Holy
Wow.
cow. So I've heard a similar story, Jeff, only I heard it was about you at an Alanis Morissette concert. So did you steal that and just change the name? And
you ought to know.
oh, very good. Clever.
That's a bitter pill to swallow right there.
Jagged little pill, Curtis.
Jagged, yes.
Catch up on your 90s pop, Curtis. Come on.
Yeah. Alanis Morissette's not one of my top, what are you gonna do?
Yeah. Do you have something good, Curtis?
A story I told you guys here a while back, but for the listening audience,
Yeah.
back in the 80s, I was doing the hair metal thing, and we booked a gig, and we went and showed up at the place. And as you guys know, you go in, you back up your trailer, you set all your lights up and your fog machines, and you get all that stuff going, and then you go back out and you get dressed into your gig clothes, and
Right.
we go back into the club ready to play, and we get, of course, this is in the 80s, so we got the big hair and the ripped up jeans and the all that, and the fancy,
Yeah, we've seen the pictures.
yeah, the fancy guitars and all that funny stuff. And we walk in, and all the women are like in poodle skirts, and all the guys are in bolo ties and stuff, and we're thinking, what in the world? And so we get up there, and of course we opened with White Snake, Slide It In. It was our opening number, so we play that, and they're just standing there staring at us, and then I want to say after that, we followed up with Mean Streak, I think was like next, with Y&T. And again, they're just standing there staring at us. So having played in oldies bands forever with my dad, I turned to the band. I was like, all right, follow me. So we started playing like Wipeout and Walk Don't Run and that kind of stuff. And they literally started square dancing and stuff to what we were playing. So we Johnny Be Good, man. We Wild Thing. We're playing all these easy 50s, 60s tunes, to limp through that first set. So we take our first break, and the bartender comes over and he's like, boys, I don't know what's going on, but this is not going to work. And so he agreed to pay us for the night, and he'd rebook us at a later time, and he would just feed the jukebox for the rest of the night. What we found out later was, so the band's name was Marauder. That was the name of the band. We found out in Western Kansas, there's a square dance troupe called the Marauders. And so when the bar advertised they had Marauder, all of these square dance troops, it's like a network. They all start reaching out, and so they had people coming in from all over the state to have this big square dance show or whatever. Yeah, they did not get what they came for, that's for sure. So anyway,
That's hilarious.
but the bartender was cool. They did have us back later, and we played Dark Crowd. It was all fine, but it was kind of that Blues Brothers moment where you're up on stage and you realize, uh-oh.
Yeah. What are we going to do now?
Yeah.
Well, didn't we?
Good old boys.
Yeah. The good old Blues Boys band.
What gig did we play where we had this was early Bootleg where we had to do the all of my love, all of my kiss. We had to do that like I don't know, we probably played it 7 times.
7 times. Yeah.
Where was that?
That was out just past Solomon.
That was that gig.
That was that gig.
That was the gig where he had the contest with the motorcycle.
Yes, the motorcycle. Yeah,
analogies.
Yes.
It was a contest for large-chested women,
Yes.
and there were categories. There were Sportster, V-twin, and Road King.
Yep.
Yeah,
All of my love, all my kisses.
I'm pretty sure that one had a sidecar. It was anyway. So that was a brilliant joke. So I've got a funny story that is, the story itself is very R-rated. It's not good for the podcast probably, but I think I might be able to stumble through a way of telling it and keeping it clean enough. It's not going to be nearly as funny, and I might just cut it in the end. We'll see what happens. But once upon a time, back in high school, I was playing in metal bands, and I was back when I even played a couple shows with Jeff's old band, Sluice, not to be confused with Juice. And anyway, we're out in Kinsley, Kansas, little one-horse town, and we played a gig out at the country club / airport. And afterwards, one of the kids that's hanging out, his parents owned the little hotel in town, and it was one of those old school hotels where all the rooms, your doors outside, and there was a building in between.
So it's a motel.
Yeah, it's a motel, and there's a building in between. That's where they lived, and then they rented out the rooms on each wing of this motel, right?
Yep.
So we had on one wing of the building were a bunch of pheasant hunters and stuff, and then we had the other wing of the building, including the living quarters. Parents were out of town. So there was one gal who was very enthusiastic about rock and roll guys, and she really liked collecting autographs. Well, apparently she ran out of paper because she was requesting autographs upon her person. So and there were 3 or 4 bands playing that night. So, I mean, there's a lot of autographs. Some band members even autographed twice. It was peculiar. So the night goes on, and the next morning rolls around, and I can't find my buddy, my dear friend, who I'm not going to name. And so I'm knocking on hotel doors trying to find him. Well, lo and behold, I finally find a door. I hear him holler. Well, the autograph girl comes walking out, wrapped up in blankets and whatnot, and she leaves. And then I wait a minute. It's my buddy, just black all around his mouth and nose, his chin, from the Sharpie,
from the ink.
Yeah, ink.
Yes.
And I laughed so hard. I tell him that story all the time, just to embarrass him, telling it in front of other people. That really going.
Oh yeah.
But I'll tell you guys this full story, and when we're not on the podcast, we don't want to have any problems. So, what did we do this weekend? We did something kind of cool.
Yes, we did. We wrapped ourselves in black plastic and all hung out together and sweated it out.
Did we turn up the heat?
Yeah, the heat was on for sure.
Was this like a hot yoga class?
Pretty much, yeah.
So
felt like it. At least I don't know about Curtis and Jeff, but I mean, by the time I was done with it, I felt like I'd run about a marathon.
Well, when Curtis is done chewing, maybe he can talk about it, since we don't eat on the podcast.
Yeah, we don't. There's unprofessional.
I know this was on purpose, Curtis. I know this.
What are you saying?
But he's not going.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're gonna do that one again. So no, what did we do? We turned the garage into a movie studio, high quality Hollywood studio, and we shot a music video. Lights, fog, special effects.
Yep.
I got a lot of I was looking through the footage, when I'm in the editing process, and I got a lot of really cool shots of I'm sitting here, I'm at my drum set ready to play, I'm hearing the music, and then all of a sudden Jeff's belly shows up, and then the light starts swinging. That's our high-tech special. We should have tied a string to it. You were right.
Yeah.
But no, we got a song coming out here in a couple weeks, and we're putting a little video together for it. I've started editing it, and it actually looks kind of cool. I got to put some tricks and stuff to it, but getting everything synced up. Oh my God. I couldn't be an editor for a living. There's no way. That's crazy.
I think you'd probably have more high dollar equipment. It probably
that's
makes
true.
a little easier.
I wouldn't be using iMovie either. I'd be using whatever that Final Cut or whatever that.
Sure. You need one of them. Take
blah blah
Yeah.
blah. This part of the song, boom.
Clack. Yeah, we never did that.
Yeah.
We should have made one.
Yeah, could have.
I got a lot of cool B-roll and a lot of pictures of Curtis wearing glasses. Do I have to cut that from the podcast?
Yes, that will have to be edited. My masses.
Yeah. Hey, whatever, Curtis. He talks about all of my issues all the time, all of my medical issues. It's about time that
Like
somebody
what?
else.
Which ones are you talking about? You know, every podcast I've ever watched has a recurring theme, and I think I found ours. People are going to have to go back to the beginning if they want to know your ailments. No, what I mean, other than the roller grill, what did you guys take away from the experience?
I thought I had a good time. I thought it was a blast.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got some cool ideas for next time around. I mean,
Yeah.
Just in terms of, lessons we learned.
Right.
I
I learned a lot of lessons.
Yeah, I'll bet.
I learned that I love our song a lot, but maybe not that much to hear it played over and over and over and over and over and over for 8 hours straight.
You know, it's even better when you listen to the same clip, like the same 15 seconds.
Yeah,
over
that's
and
what I'm
over
talking
and over
about.
and over while you're editing.
It's like
yeah.
it'd be one thing if it was the whole song through,
Yeah.
but just to hear little snippets.
I like it.
like it.
That's the difference. You guys mentioned that a couple times on Saturday. It doesn't bother me. That for whatever reason, that song just hits a chord for me. No pun intended. And
That is a
Yeah.
pump. You want to get that before it gets my bar?
Yeah.
Look at your little drip.
What drip?
I just I like that tune. And so I was totally cool hearing it over and over and over.
Well,
I
it's
think people are
grown
gonna dig it. It's great.
when we got done recording it and when we were going back and forth with the mix process, I was getting kind of like, I just want to scrap it. But now that we had it mastered and I got away from it for a while, now that I hear it again, it is a pretty good tune. And I think people will like it. We're always going to be our biggest critic. So
No, don't get me wrong. I like the song. I just it's a fatigue more than anything, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hear you.
Just ready to hear something different.
I hear you.
yeah.
There's another song on the EP that is that way for me, but that one is not. So yeah.
I think when here about, I don't know, let's call it 6 months from now, I'm gonna do an edit of this music video. It's gonna be like the behind the music video or the pop-up video, whatever it's called. So like a little ball will pop up and it'll say, this is where Rich threw his phone onto his coat, and then Curtis had to pick it up and run so we could hear it and know where we're at.
I tell you what, it was pretty professional and how we did it
Yeah.
for,
Yeah,
for a bunch of amateurs.
Bunch of hacks. And going through some of the footage, I accidentally caught some really cool shots that I think are going to be really neat. You guys, when you see it, you'll be like, oh, that's cool. I mean, that might be the only part you like, but
Yeah. The other thing I think next time we do that is we all need to be really cognizant of the process and have our phones out ready and snap some candid shots of each other getting filmed and
Right.
stuff. Cause I think, when you look back on some of that, I think one of the things we'll have is we're not going to have very many shots of Eric candidly, cause he was always behind the camera for most of the time.
right.
But getting shots of for example,
The process.
Rich being filmed, where the picture in the frame catches both Rich
Right.
and the
Mhm.
frame. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just to get some of that just to have, I think is cool. And, I've been trying to put out some teasers on our social media and stuff, letting people know what's coming. And there'll be a bunch of that coming this week. I've got it queued up and ready to go. There'll be a bunch of it coming this week. It would just been cool if we had somewhere it was obvious what was happening, because a lot of our stills are just of me holding my guitar or Rich, doing whatever, or Jeff. Just,
Yeah, it looks like we're just hanging out and having a
Yeah.
good time. Yeah.
we could have taken those pictures at any point, but if we would have
Mhm.
thought about it. And so I guess what I'm saying is next time learning from that lesson, it's going to be, let's be real,
Yeah.
real
Or
conscious.
like little videos of doing the video, like
Exactly.
like you said, someone standing back and see me swinging the light,
Oh, I think we got a little bit of that.
We got
Not
a lot
but it's usually just your belly,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
Well,
You mean his six pack, you mean?
Yeah.
Pony keg, party ball.
Party ball. There
Why
you
does
go.
everybody else got like pony kegs and six packs, and I got a paunch? I mean, why is that?
Well, because your best friend in the world coined that term for you.
Number two.
Number
Number
Oh,
two
did
was
you
paunch.
tell them? This is
What?
dead air, Rich. We
What-
don't want dead air.
Did I tell them?
Rich told me that after the show at the Temple Live,
Yes.
that some people told him that they saw a list
Oh,
or something
yeah.
where he was actually
Two-
no, I'm telling the story where he's actually was voted the number one frontman in Kansas, not Wichita, but Kansas.
Where is this publication? I'd like to see it. If
What is
y'all
this
have it,
publication?
Yeah, exactly. But
Let
two
me know.
different people came up and said that to him.
I need two things: confirmation and Rich's autograph on it. That's what I
yeah,
need.
right.
Yeah.
Then
Yeah,
my life
well-
will be complete.
You know,
Well, if you need my autograph, it's on that girl in Kinsley.
I told what, yeah, There- we could get a rubbing. So, I told one of the nice ladies who told me that she had seen that I kind of wish that I was still number two because there's no pressure
No
being
pressure to
number
be
two.
number two. Well, there's pressure. put
Nobody
against you.
nobody coming after you.
That's
you know?
right. When you're the champ, when you're the heavy as the head that wears the crown.
Yeah, you got
And number two is just the first place loser. So
Yeah, if you ain't first, you're last.
You're high on crack when you said that.
Yeah, I was high when I said that, Ricky.
There's third, there's fourth, there's fifth.
Hell, there's even eight.
Yeah. I think we just need to start playing some more shows in weird, strange places we've never been and let people find out about us. We probably need to start going
Nebraska.
Nebraska,
Like
Kozad.
Kozad, Nebraska.
Yeah.
It's just fun to say.
It's fun to say. They did have a Casey's and they had a hotel up by the interstate. So we at least have a place to crash.
So we've got food because there's going to be a roller grill there, and then
Only if it's a 24 hours Casey.
Yeah,
it might not be.
a 24-hour case.
probably not
No.
24 hour in Kozad.
Well, listen, that's not far from Kearney. So we would be able to
Hey.
go back. There's plenty of stuff there.
is that where all the fair carnies come from? Is Kearney, Nebraska?
It's spelled different. Kearney.
Thanks for rolling with my
just-
punchline.
Just don't ask. Just don't ask me to get us
Get
there.
directions. No.
What's that other town you said you rolled through there, Eric?
Grand Platte,
No, it's a
Beaver?
very familiar name.
Beaver Creek.
No, very
Oh,
familiar.
Curtis.
Curtis.
Yeah, it was so funny because I had just got done sending you guys a picture of me driving, and then I come buzzing by that road sign, and it said, first it said Curtis. I was like, oh, I wish I would have taken a picture of that. And then all of a sudden I see a billboard that says like something about senior retirement at its finest. Basically go to Curtis to die is what it was saying. And I just thought how appropriate,
Yeah, just keep running your mouth. Come to Curtis to die. It's still appropriate.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. So somewhere in the hills of western Nebraska, there's a little town called Curtis.
That's awesome.
It wasn't even on a highway. I was on the rinky dink highway and it said 7 miles that way. So I don't know, man. It's kind of end of the road place.
Hey, you're just mad there's not an Eric. That's all there is. I mean, what do you?
No, yeah, there's not.
Probably has a little old rundown. Used to be a gas station. Some old lady there's saying, "You want to buy a squirrel?"
Should have bought a squirrel.
And strangely enough, she collects autographs.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Hey, this is kind of fun. I like it when we just BS and have a good time. Might make it more watchable. I don't know. But let's get away from that. Is there anything new and exciting going on in the world of Bootleg Mercy, Curtis? I mean, we know there is, or not even exciting, but like potentially cool maybe, or well, that's neat. Any of that kind of stuff going on?
Yeah, we got a couple of things on the radar. I don't know if we want to let the cat out of the bag on everything, but
No, yeah.
I mean,
Not
we've got
Not till we get denied for sure. Then we can let the cat out of the bag.
yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, we've had some opportunities come before us in terms of maybe submitting for possible, summer festivals that we could maybe find ourselves playing. There's also a really cool opportunity maybe to do some traveling and and be in front of a biggest crowd we've ever played in front of for damn sure.
Yeah.
So that's something that well, it's in the works. We'll see how that pans out. But something we probably can talk about, because it is a sure thing, is going to be we're going to be getting interviewed here in the next probably week or so for a rock magazine publication out of the UK. And so they've asked us. We've already started submitting. They've got our EPK and they've been on our website and they've got our music, and they gave me a list of pictures they wanted to have. And then they're going to be setting us up with their reporter that's going to do a full-length interview with us. I don't know the details behind that, but it's supposed to be for an April edition of that magazine. So that's going to be pretty slick.
Yeah, that's
do
cool.
Do you guys want me to be in the interview?
No, God knows. It's me and Curtis, okay? Sorry, Jeff. Well, listen, I feel like whenever they ask Jeff questions, he's just going to hold up his little naked bottle opener.
Here it comes. Here it comes.
I've been waiting for it. I've been waiting for it. No, that's really cool. I'm excited for that. I was kind of telling my dad about it and everything, and you know, he thought it was pretty neat. And if I can get him to say it's pretty neat, then it's pretty neat. Thanks.
Yeah. And then there's just a couple other things. I mean, this week it's been kind of interesting. We've gotten a lot of exposure for Lyft for Lift and Divide for whatever reason, and we showed up on several countdowns this week. We were on the Dirty 30 on one.
Dirty 30.
We've shown up on. We're on like 25 station playlists on Spotify. We've had. I mean, we're probably close to 2,000 streams on Pandora. After 1 week of the song being out. They actually had, and I guess this will be news to you guys. So it's not just news to listeners, but it's news to you guys too. They had me record and send in a 15-second promo for Lyft that's playing with the song on Pandora.
Really?
Nice.
So if you catch the song on Pandora, you'll probably catch a quick little, hey, this is Curtis from Bootleg Mercy, and you're da 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 da, you know, kind of a deal.
That's cool. I've been listening for it on Pandora, trying to catch it. I haven't heard it yet, but
yeah. So it just started running. It just started running on the 1st. What was that, yesterday?
That's today, bro.
Okay. So it just started running today. It's already ran probably 15 times. That little stinger has before the song gets played. And so I think we've had like 153 thumbs ups on Pandora.
Really?
Yeah.
No, that's awesome. That way
is.
better than we get on Facebook or
Yeah.
Spotify or YouTube.
Yeah. And so,
These suckers again. Here they go.
Hey, man, I'm telling you, all the people who like trees, they're going to get Lift and Divide. They're, you know,
No, I know. I'm
keep
just
growing
No, I'm
organically.
saying like Facebook. It's these suckers.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting you say that. I'll tell you guys about that story later. But but with Spotify, it's been kind of cool to watch the playlists populate as we've started to matriculate out, and people are hearing it, and then they're liking it to theirs, and they're moving it into a playlist that they've got. And then we've on Twitter, we got hit this week by probably 3 or 4. I say this week, and it's only Tuesday. I've had 3 or 4 like major hitters that have like their curators. They have that huge playlist. And we've been added to 3 or 4 of those playlists just in the last 2 days. So it's like, It's interesting. It's like, you know, the first couple of days, it was like, I think someone on Twitter asked the question about, you know, what's your biggest emotion after you release a song? And, you know, I commented that, you know, it's excitement, and then immediately followed by a little bit of a letdown because it doesn't have the same impact as you kind of built up in your head. But it's been kind of a slow burn. You know, the last few days, there wasn't much. And then we had, Redbeard did that reaction video, which was really cool. And then it's like starting to grow legs, and it's like starting to catch some momentum. So that's kind of cool. It's going to feed right into next Friday on the 11th when the Veil releases. I think
absolutely
we're going to have some momentum, and people are hitting our page on Spotify. They're hitting our website. Our website has seen a huge spike in hits. I think we had 193 hits on Wednesday or Thursday of last week.
Wow.
In one day?
Yeah, in one day.
Wow.
And so,
Who
and
are
so
these
as we start
people?
to see that, as we start to see that momentum, then a new song comes out. People check out the new song, and then they check the back catalog out, kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm just kind of excited. It's kind of cool to see that thing go. And then, as you guys know, we've had several contacts just in the last week or two, asking us to get involved in this festival or submit your stuff for this, or as you know, we've had several management companies reaching out to us, and
Right.
so that's been kind of cool.
No, talking about the
Thanks.
like we were talking about with the momentum, Curtis, that's something I've been waiting for is obviously the people who like trees, they're going to be forced to hear our new song. And, that's the real trials. Are they going to like that or not? But now, with Lyft doing so well on Pandora, how many people are going to hear that? And then they're going to go back and hear trees and be like, oh, they have multiple good songs. And like what you were talking about, the back catalog, I think, yeah, as we release songs and more people hear it, I think that just we'll get that organic growth that way, and in streams, fans.
Well, I think
Uh,
I know it's not the same thing, but you always think about that with bands and what they call the sophomore slump or whatever. And there was enough time between the release of Trees and now the release of the follow-up stuff. It's almost like this is if you will, a sophomore
right.
a sophomore release, and it's interesting to watch how much quicker. And I don't know if that's because Trees opened the door for us, or we just
may
got
be.
better at social media, or
Well,
what's going on there. But I mean,
Probably a
it's just-
combination, I'd say.
yeah,
I'm sure it's definitely part of it. The trees open the door, because how many of these independent stations and everything and publications were knocking down your door saying, hey, when are you gonna have some new stuff out? So I mean, I think it's that snowball effect for sure. That's helped tremendously.
Just glad we were on the Dirty 30 chart, not the oh my lordy, it's 4.
Yeah. Well, what's cool about that Dirty 30 chart is there's like legit, radio play artists on that list, and we're also on it. So,
Yep.
I mean, that means that somebody holds us in enough, high enough esteem that they think we're worthy of being on that list.
well, a great example of that would be I sent you guys that list of bands that we're being coupled with on a couple of those
Right.
streaming sites, and they're putting us right alongside Breaking Benjamin and Seether and Disturbed, and so that's kind of
Right.
interesting to see that. It's like, because I think when you're writing the music and you're playing the music and you're performing the music, for me anyway, it's hard for me to pick a band that we sound like. I mean,
Absolutely.
when
Yep.
I'm listening to music, I can be like, oh, that band's kind of like that band, kind of like that band, but my music just is always different,
Right.
So it's cool to hear someone else say, oh, you guys sound a lot like fill in-
Right. But let's be honest here. What all of our favorite bands, if you think about who do they sound like? Well, no, they sound like themselves. So I think it's a great thing to not necessarily, just copy. We don't want our music to just sound like the other bands who's been successful. You don't want to just copy their success. That's not going to get you anywhere. So by having an original sound, I think that's going to do us a lot of good in the future.
Yep.
Yeah. Here. Now for the moment I've been waiting for. Rich, show the drink.
Oh.
No. That's a cup. Show them what it came out of.
Well, sometimes you gotta get. And tonight I'm drinking a nice red Apothic Crush is the name, and I'll read back. The back says the first taste entices,
Oh,
stimulating the senses. The next taste ignites,
whoa,
arousing the passion.
whoa.
A decadent blend that combines red fruit flavors with notes of caramel and a velvety smooth mouthfeel.
I do like a velvety smooth mouthfeel.
Mhm. And so, I mean, how could I not buy it? I mean, you read that, I want to have that velvety mouthfeel,
But it's
and I also want to have, the stimulating senses and arousing passion,
but you're gonna get white girl wasted.
possibly, but I thought that was why I was in the band.
Are you staying here tonight? Pause. Awkward
Cheers.
pause.
Cheers,
Yeah.
everybody.
Yeah. Well, since Rich went, I'll go ahead and go. I'm doing the old Arnie Palmy again, only with the Deep Eddies sweet tea vodka and the Deep Eddies lemon vodka and a splash of tea. So this is almost all alcohol. It does the trick.
Yeah.
I'll
Yeah,
tell you that
that's
much.
dangerous. Dangerous.
And it's just so refreshing. I went on a nice bike ride today.
Ooh.
I replaced a hydrant, a water, what do you want to call that? A ground hydrant. Like the kind out, that you water the plants with, sticks up the pipe out of the ground.
Yeah.
We had to take the head off and replace the guts and the plunger and all this because it was leaking.
Mhm.
So I worked like a man today, Curtis.
Here, hold on. Let me feel your hands. Oh, there's baby soft. Still baby soft.
I wore gloves, okay? I had to keep my hands soft for my ladies.
Supple hands.
Couple. So I worked, So and then I grilled. I smoked chicken and I rode a bicycle. And I thought,
Bicycle.
it's almost summer. Let's have a nice summer drink.
Yeah.
Curtis, what about you? What are you having?
I am grabbing a standard here. I'm having a
Gentleman Jack.
little gentleman Jack
I believe that's what you had our first podcast.
and a little bit of ice.
Just a little bit.
A little bit.
Nice. Is that doing the trick for you tonight?
It's okay. It's good for the end of the week.
Yeah.
On a Tuesday. Yeah.
On a Tuesday.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's a good. Wait, I thought we weren't telling them when we shot this.
Tuesday
my bad.
of May.
It's whatever day you are watching this right now, people.
It's fresh.
Yeah. Yeah. Jeff, what are you drinking, bud?
Well, I couldn't really decide. I did pick up this based on a friend's recommendation. It's called Wooshock.
Oh yeah. My buddy drinks that. WBC. They got a lot of
Yeah,
good
it's not too bad. I mean, I could get used to drinking this. And since it wasn't going to make it through the whole podcast, I mixed me one of my favorites when it starts to get warm. This is a concoction of blue raspberry vodka and Hypnotic
Oh.
with a little splash of Sprite on top.
Okay.
Oh, Jeff's gonna get white girl drunk.
Jeff is definitely white girl wasted.
It's really good. I'd recommend it.
We used to drink stuff like that when I was in college in Hayes many moons ago. Hayes, America.
I've never tried Hypnotic, but it's a good mixer flavor. More so than like sweet and sour or whatever. But
Has anybody been into back in the day the Zimas with the Jolly Ranchers?
Mm-mm.
Oh man. I don't know how many parties I went to where it's just Jolly Ranchers all over the place and Zima bottles and it's like. And
Now I did drink a couple Smirnoff
then
Ices.
Aftershock. You remember Aftershock?
I got a story about Aftershock. Curtis has got something.
We used to beat those guys up that drank Zima.
That's right.
It wasn't for me, Curtis. It was for the white girl.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you remember what was it? Passion Punch? Or no, Purple Passion.
Purple Passion.
Yeah, it came in a 2-liter bottle
Yes.
and had all sorts of wacky stuff back in the day. The apple pucker and all the puckers.
Mhm.
I think they still sell them.
I think so.
Cisco, do you ever have Cisco? A little higher, more higher end than Thunderbird.
No, definitely I didn't have it.
Higher end.
Higher end.
They used to
Like
call it. They used
$3
to
a
call it
bottle.
Is it like
Used
Mad
to call
Dog?
it liquid
2020
crack.
quality
Liquid
or-
crack, yeah. You drink a bottle of that stuff, and yeah, you're pretty good for the night.
Yeah.
Really
Yeah, I
high
went through-
alcohol content.
I went through a lot of weird phases when I started drinking, and one of them was peppermint schnapps. And I would buy the bottle of Hiram Walker, the 90 proof peppermint schnapps, and I would freeze the bottle, and then I would just drink the bottle. And one night it finally got me, and I got rid of all of it.
Mhm.
And it took me years to just smell peppermint without getting nauseous.
Oh, really? Huh.
Oh, it was terrible. But I drank a lot of, and that's probably why I'm so fat, because that stuff was just sugar and alcohol.
I got a similar story. So me and my best friend had an apartment, and one night we were going to tie one on, and we went and got a big bag of Taco Tico.
Nice.
Tacos and bean and cheese burritos, and we stuffed ourselves on those, and then we started drinking peppermint schnapps with Mickey's Big Mouth
Oh,
malt liquor.
Oh my God.
I'm telling you, that Taco Tico came out of every orifice. It was a brutal night. And it was, and just like you, Eric, it was years before I could even peppermint
Have either one.
candy,
Yeah.
peppermint gum. There was no way I couldn't do
Yeah.
it. It took a long
Yeah.
time to get over that.
That, yeah, that was a bad night. So that night we did we had the courtyard Olympics, all this other stuff. Well, I'll just get to the point. I blacked out, and my favorite story that I've told from that night, it was at our apartment in Hayes. There was a girl hanging out that used to come around and hang around the apartment when we'd have parties and stuff. And apparently that night I had discovered that she had been in an accident when she was younger and had some reconstructive surgery on her face, which I, hadn't known that. Well, apparently where her cheekbone was supposed to be, it was just like this soft tissue or something. So I guess I sat there and poked her for like 5 minutes because I was so perplexed by this. And I guess she didn't like it. She never came to another party again. And I never even, I'm told that's what happened. I don't remember that. So I felt bad for that. I never had a chance to apologize.
So
But,
since we're talking about old war stories and stuff, I do have some homework for Jeff, because we were having a conversation earlier today, and I really, really am interested if Jeff can find any pictures of him wearing those jeans, the
the
Jinko jeans. I want to see a picture of Jeff in those jeans.
that would be incredible.
Amazing. That's an
So-
album cover. That's an album cover.
I never, like I said, I never wore the ones with the big flared out bottoms on them. Mine were just the really baggy ones that were straight down the leg.
I don't have a picture of those jeans, but I do have this picture that I'm going to display proudly all the time now. Jeff in a nice pretty little button down plaid shirt with a name tag.
Does that
That
name tag, does that say Hail Satan on it?
Hails right there.
Right
That
there,
is-
it says Hail Satan.
It's a little pixel.
That is
Oh.
copyrighted, so
Well, look at those pixels. You can't even see what it
Yeah.
says.
yeah, it's probably a good thing.
Yeah.
Go jeans. Go see your mom. See if you can find some of those pictures, Jeff.
Like I said earlier, probably if you wore those, the flare part was like at your knees, probably.
Looked like I had a skirt on each thigh.
Rich, was that your era, man? Did you partake?
No, I didn't partake.
I think
in that.
Rich is like literally 1 or maybe 2 years too old for that. Like
no.
they were wearing them when you were cool.
Yeah,
But that-
Jared Chewy Sawyer.
Yeah.
So was
Nathan
Rich.
what was
Lancaster.
the
There were a couple of guys in our school that wore those,
Oh, okay.
and I remember going into the mall because that was cool back then. To actually go hang out
Oh,
somewhere and not look at your phone.
Yeah.
And went to the mall, and they had them all over the place. And that was also the time of corduroy and stuff
I had
like that.
corduroy pants.
Oh my
yeah.
goodness.
Brown.
Corduroy for miles. I
Yep.
mean, it just went miles and miles. So no, I did unfortunately bought a pair of corduroy pants.
I had
at one
corduroy
point.
pants. They were
Yeah.
cool as hell.
Yeah,
I
they
picture Rich
Aren't
in
all that
those
cool.
calf length skater shorts with a flannel shirt tied around his waist,
mm-hmm.
with the herringbone necklace
Yeah.
and streaked, and one streaked line in his hair, maybe at the back, maybe.
I mean,
Actually, he was the one that wore the starched blue jeans and the button-down collared shirt.
The bolo
I mean,
tie.
Yeah. Well,
Hey.
he lived up on the hill. He was one of those rich.
I didn't live on the hill. I lived,
He was one of those rich kids.
I lived on Marymount Road, which
See,
is
Marymount Road.
but Marymount Road, most people, and I was just having this conversation with somebody. What most people associate Marymount Road with a hoity-toity section of town here
Yeah,
in Salina,
it
Kansas.
is, yeah.
Yes.
Well, what I would tell all the girls, for cred, is that I live on Marymount Road.
Yeah.
What they didn't realize is that I lived way the heck out on Marymount Road, like out in the country, next to a ranch.
Was it a trailer house?
No, it was a nice house, but it was not a hoity-toity part of town by any means. It was more of like there was a junkyard right across the street from me.
Is it a pull behind trailer? You live in a pull behind trailer, did you?
No.
Did you-
That house, I miss that house. It was a great house.
Did you eat mom's spaghetti and then
Yeah.
Go to
Bobbing
the
on a
rap
square
club.
already. Yeah. Huh. Interesting.
Well, the interesting thing about that house was that it was haunted. First judge in Salina, one of the first judges that came to Salina, built that house, and we found a sinkhole at one point too, where their outhouse was at one point, you know, and all that. His wife had died from cancer, and where she died was in the room that I slept in. He hung himself out in a horse barn at some point,
As one would.
which happened to be turned into my stepdad's shop. There he is. But so anyway, I was sleeping one night in my room as one would, and I had this little door latch, you know, because I was a teenage boy and I just wanted to make
Oh.
sure that, you know, nobody walked in. Well, so I had the door
The towel
closed.
trick.
Yeah, towel trick. So I had the latch was on. I was sleeping, and all of a sudden, the door just goes boom, flies open. Like the latch goes flying off the door, and I'm not even kidding. It was the most haunting freaking sound I ever heard in my life. It was like, oh,
That was your brother.
sound. No, my brother definitely wasn't. And I can tell you why, because my brother wasn't even home. But the so freaked me out enough. I guess I was probably 13 years old or so. And it freaked me out enough that I couldn't sleep in that room anymore. I had to like make my way into like everybody else's room at night to sleep. And that got old real quick because nobody wanted me to sleep in the room. So I don't know why.
To this day.
I mean, a 13-year-old boy.
day.
Yeah.
Yeah, when we start playing shows on the road and we have to get hotel rooms, I call Jeff.
So anyway, then my sister told me that she had seen my brother coming home one night. The way the house was, you go up the stairs to where our bedrooms were, and up at the top of the stairs was a half bath. You know, somebody put a half bath up there. Well, my sister late at night, she's going to the bathroom, and she looks down the stairs and she sees my brother walk by her, who she thought was my brother walking by, and she said that it was like moonlit, looked like he was moonlit, but he's bald.
That's a ghost, brother.
So thought that it was my brother because he had shaved his head for the summer, which Kansas boys do sometimes. So and come and find out that he never made it home that night. So
Ruh-roh.
who was it?
It was the judge.
It was the judge. That's what we ended up calling him, was the judge. I had my pillow tugged at one point. I mean, there was all sorts of weird things happening at that
you
house.
bit your pillow at one point?
No, the pillow was being tugged.
Oh. Watch out. There it is again.
Oh, Curtis.
So cool. This has become the Halloween episode.
Well,
All right. Well, I reckon it's about time to wrap it up. We went longer than I thought we would. And Curtis got the crumb. What were you eating tonight, Curtis?
A
whole
honey
different segment.
roasted.
Nuts.
So everybody, thank you for tuning in. This has been the Rough Cuts, Bootleg Mercy, episode number 5. Be sure to like. Just like. All you gotta do is click the damn thumb. It's so easy. All you gotta do is click the thumb.
smash that notification bell.
Hit the notification bell. That way you'll get a little ding at probably 1 a.m. Thursday night when I get this done. No, I'll be done tomorrow with it.
Send me $5 in the mail.
Yeah. We need to start a
Hey.
Patreon.
Go to our website, bootlegmercy.com.
Buy a
Go to
shirt.
the merch page. We've got shirts. You can get our songs. I'm going to have stickers up there pretty soon. Support local music, guys. Help us out. You see us
Yeah.
playing live, come see us. Come up and tell us you heard the podcast and we can laugh at you. It's awesome.
Yeah, please be the person who listens to the whole episode. That would be incredible.
And don't forget to mail me $5.
Yeah,
Don't
that's-
give Rich money. He's fine.
If
He's-
everybody gives me $5.
He grew up on Marymount. He's got money. Don't give him money.
He lives on 123 Stupid Street. Send it to him there.
Yeah. Oh, roasted. That was a sick burn, Curtis.
Thank you. Thank you.
Jeez, I need some aloe.
You're gonna need some aloe for that sick burn. You're toast. Get some butter. I'm gonna butter your bread. Wait, whoa. All right, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Have a
Hey,
great
Jeffrey.
day.
We'll see you, buddy.
Bye, Jeff. Bye, Curtis.
Don't call